live. Woo! I did it, y'all. I finally went live. Happy new and beautiful day, everybody. This is the day that we have made, right? We have made as a collective mind. So, if you do not like what you see, you have to become what it is that you want to see, be, experience, and express. All right. Happy new and beautiful day, everyone, everybody. Yay, yay, and yay. Let's see what we got going on here. Try to get this going. Just one moment. All right, got something that I'm trying out differently, you guys, that I'm testing. This is a test, this is a trial test, but this is something that I'm going to do. And seeing how this actually translates. So hopefully it translates well, hey, Mr. Overett on my Instagram side. Hi, my beautiful friend. How you doing? Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. And I'm so divinely grateful to have you. Hey, my beautiful friend, and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, well, I am also on the YouTube side as well. Also simultaneously on the YouTube side. And for those of you guys who are not familiar, if you guys want to support the YouTube side, that is on my Instagram side, all you have to do is go into my bio on my Instagram side and click the link in my bio, and it'll take you directly to my YouTube. All right, and so therefore you guys can also support my YouTube side. I'm going to try something different. Hi T Love, hi beautiful. I'm glad you got the notification. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful to have you guys. I am doing something different, and I'm going to bring more of a visual concept into how I am presenting. And I hope that this brings something, more of a sense of understanding. So, welcome to everybody. It's going to be quick. It's going to be quick, but it's a new introduction because I want to bring something, bring more visual to the words that I'm actually placing out there to give more of a conceptual sense of understanding of what it is that I am conveying. Right, so I'm very glad to be here. I hope that it may write in reverse. Okay, so I did do a little test to see how it kind of translates. So it does write in reverse. Hey, Mr. Overett, yay! Mr. Overett on the YouTube side. Hey, Mr. Overett, yay! Hi, Nina Booski. Hey, beautiful. Gratitude for your presence on the IG side. So the IG is on this side and the YouTube is on this side as usual. Okay, I did keep it the same. I have two tripods that's standing on this side. One is on this side, one is on that side. So I have two tripods. So we're gonna try to, keep it consistent. But I don't have any, yes, with the board, yes. And I'm trying, I may do a different location. It depends on, how quiet. So y'all might see different parts of the house, okay? You might, right now I'm still in the bedroom. Hey, Nina. I'm still in the bedroom. So it may look a bit reversed, but just work with a sister, because I'm still trying to figure out how this thing goes or what have you. It's gonna work. You could tell. Well, I'm grateful. Mr. Overett. Thank you, my beautiful friend. Thank you. Sis say, do you, sis? I know that's right. T Love. I know that's right. I'm grateful. Hola, hola, Cosmos has entered the building. Gratitude for your presence. I'm so divinely grateful. And thank you for being here. I'm grateful. Cause is in the building. Cosmos has entered the building. And you know it got to be on the dive. I'm grateful. It won't be reversed. Okay, well let's test it out. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, how does it look to you guys? Let's see what it says. Let's see. How does it look to you guys? Woo! Uh-oh. Let's see. It is reversed. It's reversed. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to. I don't know how to. Oh, it does. So you do understand what it says, but it is backwards. Okay, it is reversed. Okay, it is reversed. All right. So I'm gonna see how I can, because I can't write. I can't do it the other way. I don't know how to. Let me see. I don't know how to see. Oh, snap! Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, boy. Look at here. I can't do it. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Now, you know what? I won't be able to. I did it. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Woo! Okay, but I won't be an A. I did it, right? I did it. Oh, man. Look at that. I did it. Hey, listen. Okay, so we go. Okay. I flipped it and reversed it. Okay. All right, so that's. Oh, man. All right, but we gonna get through it, because a lot of what it is that I got to say is all right. I know. Give me some of that fire love. I know that's right. A sister did that. Okay, a sister did that. Okay, but we gonna be mostly doing numbers anyway. So I'll keep that in mind. So y'all might see me write it my way first. And then, hey, Rosa. Hey, beautiful. And hi, why not? I don't know what LOKI stand for, but, well, welcome, everybody. Hey, Nature Wolf. Hey, a sister did that. Y'all got to give a sister credit. Okay, I'm grateful for the love, because, you know, I had to think of my jig. Okay, that was a thinkamajigger. You know, thinkamajigger thinker. I had to think of my jigger for that. But I did it, though. Shoot, I did it. But I'm going to write it down, and then, or whatever. But if you notice the title is, what are you broadcasting? So we're going to be dealing with some numbers, okay? And I would go into the breathing treatment. You could tell somebody done had some asthma in the family or whatever. I'm talking about breathing treatment. Well, hell, it is a breathing treatment. It is a breathing treatment. It is a breathing treatment, but I was going to go into some breath work to kind of regulate our nervous system. But since we kind of, it's over laughing. But since we dealing with, you know, the third dimensional self first anyway, I'm going to give you guys some numbers first. And we're going to start, you know, with the 3D self anyway, so that we could begin to understand the well-roundedness. And we're going to start with the third dimensional self first, right? So we're going to start with the 360-degree you. So we're going to ask ourselves, what are you broadcasting? So that is the title for, and this is what we're going to call the whiteboard series. So I'm going to get more into the doing this from a whiteboard series so that you guys can have a visual concept. And I did download for YouTube. I do have StreamYard, but I'm just trying to figure out, I'm a beginner in all of this, so I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate, because I still want to bring in my Instagram family as well as my growth of my YouTube family, because I'm not going to leave my Instagram family out of the equation. So I want to integrate my Instagram family along with the YouTube family. So I'm just trying to figure out how to incorporate the two. But nevertheless, I do have StreamYard. I'm just trying to figure out how to integrate the two to just be able to do one one streaming, so that both sides can see the same thing. But I do have StreamYard, so we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. I'm putting it all together slowly but surely. I'm a one-man show, and these things going through all the rigmarole and the Monroe. The rigmarole and the Monroe is trying to, we're trying to get it together. All right, so I'm going to leave that welcome. Since I so eloquently put that welcome up here, even though it's a little on the low side, I'm going to leave that welcome on the board, because that's the most significant to saying, hey, y'all, welcome to the whiteboard series. So this is the whiteboard series. And this is going to be about the, let me see, 3, 6. Oh! Oh, look at me, y'all! Woo! Okay. Okay. Genius. And don't tell me I ain't genius. Voila. Okay. All right. So let me see. Okay. All right. Okay. So the 300. Okay. So what we're talking about now? Okay. So I'm gonna break all of this down. So you got the third dimensional you, you got the sixth dimensional you, and then you got the ninth dimensional you, and then you got the ninth dimensional you, And then you got the okay. Okay. So right now, I want you guys to understand, overstand. This is wholeness, okay? So let me get this hard. Okay. All right. So this is the 360 degree U. So now, it actually, we're going to start from the third, but it actually goes. So this is where it says, a lot of people say the ninth degree is, the ninth dimensional U is the complete you. Hi, Alpha Love 333. Gratitude for your presence. Divine wholeness unto you, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Right? So we're going to add, so this is I want you guys to understand, and I'm trying to write backwards, you guys. So this is why it's taking a little bit more time than what I anticipated, because I thought this would probably be able to, show itself the right way, but I don't even know how to, I don't even know how to reverse it. Oh, I know. Aha. Aha, aha, aha. Guess what? I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. Let's make it right. But wait. I think, okay, I think I got to turn the camera around. I think I got to do it this way. But can I do it this way? Wait a minute, let me see. It's perfect. Yes, I know, but I've been writing backwards. But hold on, wait a minute. I think I got to do it. Okay, you guys are going to see. So hold on. Let me, I'm figuring it out, you guys. Ooh. Okay, but then I won't be able to see. Oh, so I won't be able to see you guys. But you guys will be able to see. Oh, that's why. That's why I got to do it this way. Because I won't be able to see you guys. But you guys will be able to see me. That's why. Okay. Hello there, Vitra. Ah, that's why. So if I flip it in reverse, if I flip it on the other side, then you'll be able to, okay, that's why. Okay, now I know why, because I won't be able to see you guys. I won't be able to see you guys. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to continue to do it. So it goes, so if you guys can see this, right? So this is the 360-degree U, right? So I'm gonna write it here. You got the all right, so let me see. Got it right. All right. Okay. All right. So can you guys see that? All right. All right. So are you guys able to see it now? So I should have probably just had everything already up here so that you guys can see it, because I didn't know whether or not if it was how it was going to reflect on this part or what have you. But now I get it. So until I'm able to get it where you guys can actually see it, I'm just going to have to play with it like that. All right. All right. So this is the 360-degree U in the dimensional experiences. So these dimensional experiences is how you broadcast. I don't know how to make an A. I'm trying to. Okay. All right. That's how you broadcast. Okay. So this is why you start here and you end here. You start here and you end here. So this is your 360-degree. Okay? This is your 360-degree. This is what they call your wholeness. Okay, y'all get the gist. I ain't got enough room for that, right? But this is what they call your wholeness. Now, as long as you guys understand this part, your dimensional selves, right? So how am I going to write this? Now, this is your dimensional selves. Your ninth, eighth, seventh, sixth, fifth, fourth, third. You do have your second and your first dimensional selves, but we're in our. You can see clearly. Okay. Vitra. We're in our third dimensional self. So I left out the first and the second dimensional self because we're experiencing we're experiencing all dimensional selves, of course, but we're mainly focusing within the dimensional selves from our third dimensional selves, but we're experiencing in all our dimensional selves. Okay, so the completion, the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega is the 360 degrees. That the third dimension, the 3 is the the 3, I did it again. The 3 is the third dimension. The 6 is the sixth dimension, and the 0 is the 0 point. Okay? The 3 and the 6 equal the 0, which is the ninth dimension, right? Which is the ninth dimensional self, which is the wholeness of self or the completion of self, right? This is where you get your 300 and your 60 degree. That's how you can get your 360 degree, the completion of self, the wholeness of self. So the reason why I want you to understand yourself in wholeness, because once you understand yourself in wholeness, then that's how we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down and understand how we broadcast and the channeling and how we channel and how we broadcast and how we understand our dimensional selves, and we go break it down. But if you understand yourself in wholeness and how we get to the wholeness of each other and why the 9 is the 1 and the 1 is the 9 is the ending and the beginning, the alpha and the omega, and how that all intertwine and all this other kind of stuff, if you begin to understand that aspect. Oh yeah, let me remind you, I'm quantum simplified. You're getting the simplified version. Let me go ahead and for on the Instagram side. You're getting the simplified version, okay? So you guys can see. All right? So let me know in the chat if you guys understand where I'm going with this and why I'm breaking it down in this aspect, so that you guys can understand the 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, back to the 9th dimensional self, and what the 360 degree aspect really means in the aspect of wholeness, and what the 3, the 6, and the 0 really means in wholeness. 360 degrees. If you understand, place your 15th dimensional self in the chat. Place your 15th dimensional self in the chat. Ooh, YouTube is clear. It's real clear. Rosa says she understands with some thumbs up. Okay. All right. All right. Because I'm gonna go to the 3rd dimensional self so that you can understand. I'm gonna erase all of this. I'm gonna erase all of this right here. So that you can understand, before I, but I'm gonna actually I'm gonna actually upload the video. But I'm not gonna be on here for too long. But this is just a trial to see how this actually conveys. So you guys gonna have to let me know in the chat if you guys prefer a visual. Vitra says, I'm still new. I am not quite up to speed. Okay, baby, that's fine. But you know what you can do? You can always ask questions, baby girl. Don't. No question is a dumb question. So if you whatever question you would like to ask, just go ahead and ask it. If I'm able to, and this is on the YouTube side, IG. If I'm able to answer the question, I will definitely answer it. One thing I will not do is mislead you or misguide you. If I don't have the answer, I'm not going to give you a guesstimate or anything like that. I'm not. Most likely, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to probably lead you to yourself, because a lot of what it is that you do know is within you. It's already there within you. But if I have, something that is within my journey that can allow you to go to within yourself to give you that guidance, that proper guidance that's going to navigate you on your journey, then yes, I would definitely. No question is a dumb question. So always put it in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer to the best of my ability. Okay, so don't. No worries. No worries here, man. You're in good hands. You're in good hands. You're in good hands. The visual is cool. Okay. Cosmo said yes. He gave me a clap. T Love says she likes the visual. Okay. All right. So we're good on that. All right. So that's good. I'll continue with the visuals. All right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead, and so long as you guys understand the 360-degree concept, your dimensional selves that leads yourself into the experiencing in form. So I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna take this out right here. All right, because this is a critical part of your broadcasting. All right, and let me see how I can do this. All right. All right, so I had to look it up. I don't know. Y'all spell D-I... I can't spell dimensional. Let's see. Okay. All right, so All right, so let me see how that looks. All right. All right. All right. There we go. All right, so in the 9th, 8th, 7, 6 dimensional selves, these are what is going to determine how you broadcast. Okay? This is where everything is determined how you broadcast. Okay? This is where all of the magic happens, as they say. All right? So once you begin to understand how the magic and everything is going to commence in terms of what comes into form and how all of it comes into form, this is where all of the magic happens in the 360-degree you within the 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th dimensional selves. Okay? And so when we get to the parts of how all of this comes together, that creates the reality to which one is going to actually experience the reality. This is where all of everything comes together in terms of how one is going to create the reality. This is where everything takes place. Now, we're going to, as I say, this determines how it's going to be created. In the 3rd dimensional you is where it is either is going to be in the essence of the discovery of yourself, in terms of if you are aware that you are the one that's actually creating the reality, or if you have decided to have a continuum of allowance of an external value to create the reality for you. In this, you've given permission for external to go ahead and write the story, execute the story in these particular dimensional selves. But the one thing that remains consistent is that in the 9th dimensional self, this is where you know that you are whole. This is where the light is always shining, right? This is where the light is always shining. Okay? This is the unforgotten self. So the 9th, let me see. How can I put it? The 9th dimensional self is always the unforgotten self. Okay, is never forgotten. It always remember itself. It's never forgotten. Okay, it always remember itself. So it always knows who it is in the 9th dimensional self. The 9th dimensional self always know who it is. It's always in remembrance of itself. It's whole. It's complete. It knows that it's there is no sickness. There is no delay. There is no forgotten of self. There is no nothing. It always remain intact. It knows that in its essence of the dimensional selves, I'm here to play. I'm here to create. I'm here to, expand my essence of consciousness in creation mode. It has a knowing that it's never, it's never in the essence of the distorted version of itself. It is whole. It is complete. Okay, the 9th dimensional self of consciousness. So your 9th dimensional you is the wholeness of you at the beginning. It is the alpha. It is the omega. Okay, it is the beginning. It is the ending. Okay, it is what starts, it is what completes. So therefore, when they say the 9 is completion, the 9 is also the completion, but it's also the beginning. It is the alpha, it is the omega. It is the beginning, it is the end. It is the completion. It is the 360. It is what one may consider to be the 0 point. Okay, that's why it's in the 3, the 6, and then, you know, the 0 or the 9, the completion. It is what that is, okay? So when you get to that, when you get to the understanding of the 9th dimensional you, that's when you are whole. That is the completion of self. The 8th, the 7th, and the 6th dimensional you, this is where all of the magic happens. So now we're going to talk about the 3rd dimensional you, okay? So that you can begin to understand what the 3rd dimensional you, so you can begin to understand what the 3rd dimensional you is consisting of, okay? With the 8th, the 7th, and the 6th dimensional self. So the 8th, the 7th, and the 6th dimensional self, how are you broadcasting? Yes, the 9th, the 9th is the beginning and the completion, yes. The alpha and the omega, yes. Yes, yes, T-Love, yes. It is the beginning and it is the ending. Because okay, so when you come to the completion, you got it, T-Love, yes. Because when you begin to ascend, right? Going back up to your higher level of consciousness, or the octaves of light of self, right? You're ascending back unto the remembrance of self, which is your 9th dimensional self. But it's your 9th dimensional self that knew itself to be whole to begin with. Absolutely, there is no ending. There is no ending. There is absolutely no ending. It's because the 9th dimensional self knows that it's just experiencing. It always knows that it's just an experience. Yes, it just gives itself a new, yeah, you can call it a new start. You could call it a new start, or it picks up on a different reality. It picks up on a different reality because you have many versions of you. So let's say it was a story like I think I gave, like with people that like say transition, right? They transition. I may transition in a 80-year-old, 90-year-old, 110-year-old, as a 110-year-old in a human experience, and I may wake up in another human experience as a 40-year-old or a 20-year-old, or I may come into a human experience as a brand new baby, because I may be in another reality and given another chance, and my soul essence may remember this as a dream. Yeah, I may remember this as a dream, and I have some type of deja vu, like you're welcome. Yes, life is but a dream. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So you may have some reminiscences of, what they call them, deja vus and different things of that nature. Like what they call the Mandela effect is when we shift into different octaves, you remember you have that experience at some point. Yeah, some reminiscences of the experiences may still happen. Like, to give you an example, like Biggie Small's mom may go into a different reality where Biggie Small might be a teacher, and she may have woke up from a dream and say, I dreamed that you was this, he may still be alive, her son may be alive, and he may be a teacher with 3 kids and a wife, And she might have said, you know, son, I had this dream that you was this mega superstar. And, you know, Puff Daddy, you know, Puff Daddy may be he may still be Puff Daddy, but he may be Puff Daddy in a different way. And, you know, he may not even have a case. He may be something else. And she might be like, yeah, you know, and you was a superstar, but she still may be alive in a parallel reality, and she just went to sleep and woke up in another reality, and her son, and I dreamt that you died, and she was like, oh, you know, she might have woke up, she's like, oh son, you alive, and he may be looking at her like, mama, that was one hell of a dream you had. I'm right here, you know, laughing. And, you know, looking at the kids, and, you know, she'd be like, that's one hell of a dream. That's why certain things that we know and didn't have to learn or go to school. Right. That's why you go and you get on the piano, a 3-year-old get on the piano and start playing the piano, and you be like, well, dang. What, you know, how did that kid know how to play the piano? Yes, absolutely. That's the reason why. Yeah, she might have woke up and she been like, oh gosh, you were a superstar, and you know, and she, you know, she in a whole other reality with the same character, the same people, but it's just a whole different, you know, type of reality where she's not experiencing her son dying anymore. She's not experiencing, you know, having to go through that density of a drama. She has ascended in a vibration and frequency now where she is now experiencing a lighter version of the same characters in a more denser reality where she experienced her son in a denser reality. Now she's experiencing her son in a more lighter reality where it's not as dense. And, you know, and she just went to sleep and woke up in another reality. Okay? But we are the key players in terms of how we write the story and how we, you know, choose the character players in the realities, right? The energy containers that we, you know, decide to use in the experience. We are the ones that, you know, that allows it, you know, in our oversoul. So like, to give you an example, like before coming into the before we came into the incarnation, right? Where our ninth dimensional self, the pre-birth self, this is where we came into the density, right? We came into the density. We chose our energy containers, how we wanted to experience, and we chose our parents, the frequency of how we wanted to enter the reality in, right? And then as we came into the density, now we began to adopt and start, you know, adopt frequency containers through our parents and different things of that nature. We began to adopt 3D frequency containers into our experiences by the parents, and, you know, the DNA that we, you know, the light codes within the DNA that we inherited it as well, that allowed us to pick, choose. It's like a library of frequency containers that we could pick, choose, and refuse to activate our experiences, because that's all your DNA is light code data based off of densities and different things of that nature that you could pick, choose. You can like you pick and choose how you want to operate energetically through lineage, how you want to experience, you know, the greatest density to the, you know, to the lightest or the more expanded version of you in terms of the higher octaves of being, right? Now, you have other versions. You know, they say there are other dimensional selves that you can actually go through, you know, other alien species that are in other parallel worlds and dimensional worlds, galaxies and everything. All that has its, if you've heard it, the thing about it is this: If you know anything about it, if you know anything about Andromedans, if you know anything about Anunnakis, if you know anything about anything within this galaxy, in this realm, it is valuable, because that's data. And if you have any acknowledgement or recognition of that information, it's viable. It's viable, it's data, and it can be activated. It can be projected. So, yeah, infinite possibilities. Okay? Because if you don't have no recollection of anything, then it's not within your repertoire of activation. Because if you don't know it, then you can't project it. If it's not there, if it's not activated, you don't know it, you can't project it. It's not there, it's not activated for you to project. You don't know it. When you know it, then you project it. Light code activated, you can project it. So a lot of times when people say, "Oh, that's not real," it's real to you, because if it was not there, you would not say it. You can make that a reality. You can bring that you can bring it into fruition. Because if it wasn't, you would not be able to, you would know it. It's viable somewhere. So you can bring it into fruition if you want to bring it into form. Because remember, the Apple Watch, where you could actually have a conversation and you could see videos and different things, that was on the Jetsons, right? Remember, I don't know, I may be, placing my age out there or whatever, right? You're welcome, sweetheart. That was on the Jetsons, okay? And now look at it. You have your Apple Watch. You can see data in mid-air now. So if you thinking it's viable. It's viable. If it's out there, it's viable. All this stuff was on the Jetsons, yes. So it's viable. It may not be tangible right now, but if it's in the ethers, if it has manifested itself to the point of its being in the ethers, that's the next closest thing to manifesting it in form, then yeah, that's what it is. So your broadcasting now is, I'm about 10 minutes behind the live. I'm here listening. Okay, sweetheart. I'm going to upload it. Hopefully YouTube allow me to upload it. I'm going to upload it. But I just want you guys to start focus on the ninth, the eighth, the seventh, and the sixth dimensional self. Because in the third dimension is either you got a grip of how you are tuning yourself in terms of what it is that you are allowing, to either you have gotten a grip of how you are allowing yourself to create the reality, or you're still kind of somewhat allowing the external side of self to create the reality for you. But just know that all of this is happening within your 8th, 7th, and 6th dimensional self. The 9th dimensional self is your star self. This is the whole you. Okay? This is the pure you. The 9th dimensional self is the pure you that understands that it's consciousness, the undistorted aspect of the divine self, that knows that it's consciousness that's ready to diversify itself into expansion and experiencing and creation, be it that the purity of itself or the distorted version of itself. But it knows itself to be whole in its 9th dimensional aspect of being. It knows itself to be whole in its 9th dimensional self as consciousness. It knows in its wholeness. That's where the 3, the 6, and the 0 comes in. 360 degrees is the 3, the 6, the third, the 6, and the 0 point. 3, the 6, and the 9. Okay? The alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, that's the completion. Okay, that's all synonymous. The wholeness of the divine self. The wholeness with the understanding that although I am experiencing all of this distortion, all of, you know, the highs and the lows and the ebbs and the flows and the frequency containers that comes in with the distorted version and all of that stuff, at my ninth dimensional aspect of self, I understand that I am whole without any distortions. Okay? And so my next aspect, when we get to understand the broadcasting of the third dimensional self, I want, because third dimensional self don't have to be looked upon in a negative aspect. It just has to be understood in terms of how you are choosing to broadcast within the third dimensional self. And once you get a grip of how to broadcast in the third dimensional self, right, then you will begin to ascend into your fifth dimensional self once you understand how you're broadcasting. Because once you understand how you're broadcasting in your third dimensional self, it kind of somewhat, you kind of somewhat ascend automatically in your fifth dimensional self. It's the clarity of the third dimension. It's when you begin to have the clarity of the third dimensional self, you kind of somewhat, you ain't no kind of, you do ascend into your fifth dimensional aspect of being. Right? Okay, Mr. I completely get it, Mr. Overett. I completely get it. I understand. Right? So what we're going to start doing is, like, I'm gonna always have this up so that you can be reminded of the wholeness of you, and so that we can go each dimensional self so that you can understand the wholeness of you and how you're operating and how you're broadcasting. Because your nervous system is an intricate part of that. Okay? And how you're broadcasting. But how you understand the reality is also how the broadcasting comes into commencement too. I had a situation that transpired the other day where a lot of times people, you know, I'm in surrender mode, right? With surrendering a lot of what transpires in my reality. Because when you get to the understanding of the ninth dimensional self and wholeness, and you understand that I'm creating all of this, and if I'm going to create a reality, why am I fighting against myself? You begin to understand as a creator, and you know that you are the one that is creating the reality, even in the third dimensional self. Why am I fighting against myself? So I surrender. I'm surrendering to a lot of the chaos and the confusion, because I'm creating the chaos and the confusion in how I'm understanding the reality. Because it's either I'm writing the reality or I'm agreeing with allowing external versions of me to write the reality for me. And so if I no longer agree with the reality, writing the reality for me, right, then I must now take the pen and write the reality that I want to experience. So when I start hearing the echoes of the reality that I no longer agree with, because it was more of the reality that I once allowed external values to write for me, I now surrender and say, I no longer assign responsibility to the recreation of a reality that I no longer agree to. You don't want to recreate it, because now I hold the pen. I hold the authorship, because I know now that I'm the author, even in the permission of those that were allowing to write the story for me in the third dimensional reality. So now you're fine-tuning the broadcasting in the third dimensional reality, because now you have taken the pen. Now I'm writing my own story. Oh gosh, I wish I could do it. I'm writing my own story. See, I don't know how to do the G backwards, but let me see. right? So now I'm writing my own story. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay? I'm writing my own story. Okay? Yes, I'm changing my matrix. Okay? So when you begin to understand you now, and now the frequency containers that I'm operating from, it's not that of stress, it's not that of anxiety, it's not that of the survival matrix that was once written for me. And once these are your frequencies, right? This is the story, and these are the crystals. These are the snowflakes. The sixth dimension is the snowflakes. It's when the water turns into the ice. You see how this is when the water turns into ice to take shape and form. This is when the water turns into ice to make it, to crystallize, to take form, to come into the fifth dimensional self. Okay? These are the crystals right here that turns, your snowflakes into that crystallize. So how are you going to crystallize? You know how, to give you an example, right? Of how so you know how when the water turns into ice, yes, right? So you know when, to give you an example of what that might looks like, okay? So let's say your story is fluid, right? It's very fluid. So you're writing in pure energy. Your energy is fluid. It's motion. It's pure. It's pure energy. It's magic, right? So it's flow. It's fluid, right? So now your frequency is like this. It's fluid. So you got peace. You got love, and you want all of this frequency. Now all of this frequency is going to take shape and form so that you can experience the reality. But this is what you're creating with. This is the water. This is the water, the fluid that you're creating with, the flow that you're creating with. Okay? This is the flow that you're creating with. You're creating with harmony. You're creating with love. You're creating with abundance. All of this is flow. It's no stagnation in it. It's no distortion in it. It's fluid. It's flow. So in your eighth and your seventh dimensional self, it's pure flow. It's not stagnant. It's fluid. Okay? You got all of this flow, abundance of flow is fluid. So now you're creating all of this energy, this fluid, this plasma frequency, right? In flow. You got all of that you creating with, right? Now, the vibration as it becomes crystallized, you know how you have, what are those things that changes with each vibration? It creates a crystal pattern. It creates a pattern. What do they call those? Cymatics, right? And so every cymatic creates a shape and it creates a form for every frequency. So when you do 440 hertz and you hit a cymatic, it creates a crystal. It creates a pattern, right? It creates a different pattern. So when you do 440 hertz, right? It's not ice. You might use sand, but think of it that way. So when you hit 440 hertz, it creates a pattern. When you hit, so let's say that's not love. That's a distorted 440 hertz is a distorted. So when you look at a pattern of sand in 440 hertz and the pattern that it makes, that's the form that it makes in 440 hertz. If you hit 432 hertz, and the pattern that it makes in that sand, and it's a beautiful crystallized pattern, then that's the shape and form that you're making when your sixth dimensional self, when you create that frequency container of love, harmony, abundance, prosperity, all of those fluid frequencies are going to make all of these beautiful cymatic patterns in form. You're going to see all of these beautiful features and frequency patterns in those when it materializes in form. That's what you're going to see in form, those frequency patterns, those same hertz that these creationals are going to make, those frequencies that's going to make in form. To give you guys a visual. Okay? So that's how you're going to begin to create in form. Otherwise, if you start creating in distortion, what is it going to look like? What are those same frequency crystals are going to look like when they start taking shape and form? They're going to look distorted. If you look at a distorted crystal versus a crystal that is harmonized, it has two different types of patterns. Okay? So when we are creating in distortion and versus when we're creating in harmonics, it's a different type of creation. Your sixth dimensional self is what create the crystals from the containers that we create in our eighth and seventh dimensional self. It creates the sixth dimensional self is what brings the crystals into form. It crystallizes everything into form so that we can begin to experience it in our fifth dimensional self. Okay? And so we're going to, when we get to the third dimensional self, how we're going to get to the meat and the potatoes of how we understand our third dimensional self. And I'm going to try to figure out how I don't have to write like this. Even though I did pretty good, you guys. I think I did pretty damn good today. You know, even though I had to kind of write backwards, but I think I did pretty good today for having to write backwards. But well, thank you, darling. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you. But we're going to get into, I want you guys to, this is the foundation, quantum simplified, to understanding, overstanding oneself in wholeness. Okay? I did great. Thank you, T-Love. Thank you. T-Love said I did great, YouTube. That's on the IG side. She said I did great. That's a word, okay? All right. All right. We're going to understand the, thank you, Kaz. Thank you, Kaz. I'm grateful, Kazi. YouTube said. Kaz said I did good, too. Okay. So we're going to get into the third dimensional self. Like, what are you broadcasting? Keep that in mind. This is the Whiteboard series. And I'm going to be in different locations until I can find the right location to make this work. And then I got to figure out, since this show's in reverse, I got to figure out how I can see myself and see y'all too. I don't know how we's gonna do this, Miss Seeley. How's we gonna do this? I don't want to have to continuously write backwards. But if I have to, I shall do it. But we're gonna figure it out. But we're gonna get to the third dimensional self, which will even will lift us out of the third dimensional self. And I don't want no one to think that the third dimensional self is bad, good, or indifferent. It's an experience. How are we gonna do this? But it's an experience, okay? It's not bad or good. It's just an experience, right? But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it, and like I said, I'm gonna have some visuals up here, and I'm gonna probably start having some of the stuff already up on the board to eliminate the time, because I have to think when I'm writing backwards, and that kind of makes it quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to think. Can't multitask when I'm writing backwards. My brain like, oh yeah, you gotta be quiet to focus and concentrate, because I can't talk and write backwards at the same time. That ain't gonna work, because it's gonna be looking all crazy, okay? It's gonna be looking all cuckoo for cocoa. You did that backwards. Thank you, Mr. Alfred. Thank you, my beautiful friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Alfred said I did that backwards right. And y'all go ahead, I was trying. It look a little, my handwriting may not be the best, but it got the job done. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So keep in mind, what are you broadcasting? Understand, overstand that everything is created in fluidity in your eighth, your seventh dimensional self, your intentional self, your authorship self. Thank you, Kazi. Your authorship self, the fluid you, the energy you, right? And it crystallizes and come into form in your sixth dimensional self. And then you determine if it comes into a distorted crystallized version or a harmonic crystallized version, okay? Most of the time, it's depending on how it's authored, whether it's going to be a distorted version or if it's going to be a harmonic version. Your star is always lit in your ninth dimensional you. Okay? Your star is always lit in the ninth dimensional you. The wholeness of you is your 300 and hold on. Your 360 degree U, which is the 3, the 6, and the 0 point, which is the ninth dimensional U. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me see if I can turn it where you guys can see, which is the ninth dimensional U. Okay? All right, so the 9 is always it's the beginning and the end. How is the beginning? How the ninth dimensional you is the beginning is when the soul, the oversoul, comes in to determine how you're going to be when you choose the experience when you're born. How it becomes the end when you remember the divine self in wholeness, when you awaken. And your ninth dimensional self is the remembrance that you're whole again. So you remember that you're whole before you come into the incarnation. You remember you are whole. You know that you are whole before you come into the incarnation. You remember you are whole when you get into the remembrance of self, as such as myself and many others who are remembering that they are whole. So that's how the ninth dimensional self knows it's whole. And then the ninth dimensional self remembers its whole when it's incarnated within the third dimensional self. So that's how they say the 9 is completion. The 9 is completion. 9 is completion. 9 is completion. Well, that's the ninth dimensional you remembering itself in wholeness. So that's how it comes into part, saying, I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the beginning and the end. But there is no beginning, there is no ending. It's just that in the experience itself, it is divine knowing and divine remembrance of that knowing within the experiences of itself, especially in the forgotten state. So when you remember self, you remember that you are whole, that you never forgot. You never not knew, you just chose to forget. So it was a divine choice to forget. But we getting there. We already there. We just remembering. And it's a beautiful thing. As I come into more divine knowing and through remembrance. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful. But I tell you one thing, holding the purity of, you know, moving in pure tone, while being, in the 3D experiences, sharing energy fields and everything, and holding pure tone. Yeah, it's, whew, it is, the energy is it's a it's a heavy energy. It's a heavy energy. And it's about energy. It's about energy. Because when it's light, it's light. It's light and fluffy and soft. You feel like you floating, or you feel like you could fly. I believe I can fly. You literally believe you could fly. But when you in that broadcasting of that denser energy, you can feel the difference. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference in the way that you're holding the energy. You can feel the difference. So, when you want to run steady, the truth of the matter is that it's resonance. Yes, it's definitely resonance cause. The truth of the matter is that a lot of people look at the situations, and if you still, you can't be absorbed. Like, we're still trying to, okay, I believe I can touch the sky. But back in the day, there are some people that chose self. And when them people say, I'm going for a loaf of bread, and didn't come back, society condemned them. How could you? How could you leave your family? But I get it. I ain't saying it ain't right. I ain't saying that it ain't right on. But I understand from a spiritual side. Because some of y'all motherfuckers are dense. I ain't gonna lie. From an energetic perspective. It's an energy thing. Morality go out the damn door. Family, you can't be, some aspects of the divine has chosen density at a more denser calibration of experiences than that to which some aspects of the divine is willing to experience. And some parts of sovereignty says, oh, this is a bit too dense for me to, my sovereignty is going to kick in and be like, y'all want this denser experience? I don't choose this dense, y'all choosing this energy container to be as dense as it is, and I don't choose this energy container. Hold on, you guys. I don't choose this energy container. So, from a more energetic perspective, a person's sovereign self may kick in without a person not even looking, even remembering to that great a soul. The over soul may say, I'm going for a loaf of bread, and don't return, because the experience in their shared field with other beings may be like, yeah, no, it's too dense. Well, I would say the family you have been born into. That too, because you can walk away from that too, but the density of the construct, the way that we've been taught in the reality is that, oh, you're abandoning your family, blood thicker than water. No, blood ain't thicker than no water. Blood is thicker than water, but not in the essence of you sacrificing yourself or feeling obligated. That was another thing. A lot of times people say, you know, anytime you feel obligated, it's not just by money alone. It's not just by money alone. It's with anything. Your obligation, anything, is a form of lack. That's scarcity. That's distortion. That's survival. I'm not. You know, I told my daughter. I said to her, I said, I don't care how you feel about me. You can, you know, you can feel however you want to feel about me, but it doesn't negate how I feel about you. And truth be told, you know, I love you. I love you with all my heart and soul. And how I feel about you doesn't change because of how you feel about me. But I'm not going to be disrespected. I draw the line. I have boundaries. So the version of you that you bring forth, I have a right to choose if I want to deal with that version or not. The energy that you bring forth. See, the thing of it is that I don't have to match your energy. Right? I don't have to match your energy. I don't, just because you don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't have to not like you to not deal with you. Right? You don't have to not like somebody to not deal with them. If you genuinely love that person and you care about that person, hi, shalom, Abdul Abdin. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for divinely tuning into my frequency. I'm so divinely grateful. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you genuinely love that person and different things of that nature, you ain't gotta hate them to draw boundaries. You just draw your damn boundaries and call it a day. Because you never want to stoop into that vibrational space that they are if that is not your true resonance. My true resonance is love. My true resonance is that to which I am. So I'm not going to stoop to that level. I just draw the line in the sand, and that's what it is. You don't have to walk a path that a person is in to try to figure out why a person don't like you or why a person don't love you or why a person, that's their issue. You don't have to make their path or their chosen path your chosen path when your chosen path is clearly a different chosen path energetically. So that's why I said you got to understand what are you broadcasting on. Sometimes you might like a little 99 jam, but sometimes you might like a little jazz because you want to relax. You want to relax. Shit, relax your muscles and feel good. You don't want to be don't stop, get it, you know. You don't want to be doodle brown. You don't be wanting to doodle brown all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, the time. You know, you don't be wanting to do all of that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, it's sometimes you want to relax and chill. You know, you don't be wanting all that. You want to be, you know, you want to where you broadcasting. It's not all the time you want to share the same channel. But when you do want to share the same channel, you share the same channel. But sometimes you may not want to, you know, you might want to do a little hip hop every now and again. But most time, my resonance is like, yeah. Okay? Yeah, most time my resonance is on a whole nother different, it's on a whole, more different, softer aspect of self. So, you know, don't get me wrong, I like a little 808. You know, 808, I am that bass. I can go there. I do have range. And if I have to take it there, I will take it there. Ain't no doubt about it. But I'm too old for that shit now. It's time. I'm too old for that shit now. It's time. I gotta chill. I mean, chill, you know, I'm on some different. I'm on some different type of time. But y'all, it has been lovely. I love doing this whiteboard thing. I wish I could do it a little bit different where you guys can actually see what I'm writing and I can see you guys. If you guys have some suggestions, I would love some suggestions where I can do the live, see you guys, see what I'm writing without it being in reverse. So that way we can integrate, you know, thank you, Kaz, thank you, T Love. We can engage. I gotta go pick up my grandbabies. Otherwise, I will still be here. I gotta pick up my grandbabies. Thank you, why not? I'm grateful. I want to be able to give you guys more of a visual. I said, how can I express this more? Because like I said, it's one thing to sit up here and lecture you guys all day. You figure it out. Yeah, we're going to figure it out together. We're a team up in this joint. And that's another thing. Collaboration, co-creation. That's what the fifth dimensional self is all about. Is co-creation, collaboration. I'm all on board with that. It's not about, like I said, I'm not into that competition thing. Nobody, not over here. Ain't no competition over here. And so, you know, it's a we thing, not a me thing. And so I'm not in this for the money, although money can be made in it, but that's not my primary thing. It's about, you know, growth. It's about collaboration. It's about seeing, you know, the light in each other, you know, unifying. You know, that's a lot, you know, where we've missed the mark and a lot of things because we think that we're in competition. You can't be in competition. We infinite, for God's sake, y'all. It's you can't finish this, you know. It's no finishing this, man. Like, I don't know. I just see it from a whole nother different lens. You know, I just see it from a whole nother different lens. And, you know, it's harmonious. Yeah, it's harmonious over here. You know, I don't know if you guys can feel that or not, but I hope one day you can get into a vibrational space where you can feel the authenticity of, you know, where I'm coming from. And just know that, you know, I'm all about harmonizing. I'm all about sharing people's stuff, getting everybody out there. So that you could be not only being seen, but it's just about, you know, you guys knowing that you are enough and you are worthy, and everybody got a talent out there. You're like, you ain't gotta work hard, man. It ain't about working hard. It's about your talent is the smartness of you. Now, people talking about, not about work hard, about working smart. Yeah, your talent is the smartness of you. You know what I'm saying? God gave you the abundance of your naturally innate ability to do it effortlessly. And we sleep on that because the rich side that wrote the program told you you had to do this and you had to do that. And you slept on what God gave you effortlessly to do. Like, you left out of one sleep dream that you came in being able to sit at a piano knowing how to play it, following another program that told you you had to do this. You know what I'm saying? But you came out of whole nother dream into this dream knowing how to play the piano without having to take one lesson. But you let another program come and tell you that you had to do this and you had to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we were sleeping on our innate talent. But I want to be able to show that, you know, hey, you ain't got to sleep on it no more. Get yourself going. You know, whatever, you know, is in your heart to do, just start. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my bedroom, y'all. I'm in my bedroom. I ain't got no major studio or nothing like that or anything. I ain't got nothing special but myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm special. You special. You know, and I just want to put that word of encouragement out there for those who's sitting there just thinking like, you know, yeah, just start. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's in there. Just do it. Wherever you at. And, you know, and forward it to me and I'll post it. And somewhere along the line, when people start seeing that we about that business, we about that life, we about that unity, we about that unified, this algorithm ain't gonna have no choice but to hear the words that are coming out of our actions, not just our mouths, our actions, because we're being. We are being. And we're not playing. We're being. We're being serious about it. All right? We are enough, cause absolutely we are enough. We ain't got to hustle. We don't have to hustle. All we have to do is be. We are the reason why a lot of stuff is what it is, because of our being, our innate desire to see a lot of these things that are actually happening, because we wanna laugh, we wanna be overjoyed, we wanna see comedy, we want these things, we desire to be a part of these things. Ain't nobody put no gun to our head to laugh. Ain't nobody put no gun to our head to want to do these things. We desire these things. We don't have to be manipulated into these things. These are the things that we actually not, we want to do. But we fail to want to support one another, because this misconception that we feel that we got to be up against one another. No, we don't. We really don't. That's a misnomer. You are enough. And just trust the inner you, the ninth dimensional you, the light that never dims, that eternal flame that never goes out. It's always there. But we're going to talk about the ninth dimensional you, and we're going to also understand the beautiful third dimensional you. But I got to go, you guys. I love you guys. And I'm glad you guys gave me a chance on my whiteboard writing backwards to me, but you guys got to see it and everything. I love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day. And the next time we're going to do our breath work. And, I didn't get a chance to do it today because I was just trying something different and I wanted to jump out there just to do it. But the next time we're going to do our intro and our exit in our breath work and everything to get ourselves back acclimated to what we're used to doing. All right? I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Talk to you guys later. Later. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Instagram. Love you guys. Later.